Hello people, right, okay, we've got Elumen. It's all been repackaged and stuff, so I'm just going to talk you through another tutorial for professionals. If you're not a professional, I wouldn't really try this at home because it stains everything it touches, which makes it a great product in a way. The range with Elumen, you've got all your light shades. I won't go through them one by one because it'll take you a while. You've got all the dark shades, so you've got your bright and you've got your deep. And then you've got your really vibrant shades. Now don't be put off by these vibrant shades, even if you don't want, say, the bright orange. We're actually using this today on Julie, but you've got to go down to the depth. So she's down here, we're actually lightening her a little bit. So you go across from your depth, and that's going to be your target shade. So it's going to be roughly around here. So the way we're doing Julie's hair is we're going to be using the KK, but we're also going to be using the NA at 2. Now this means natural ash at base 2, so it's very, very dark. What we've both discussed with Julie is that when we've had a photo shoot in here, we kind of cooled down the pictures and warmed up the pictures. Julie doesn't look great with a cold light. A lot of people don't, to be quite honest. It was too vampire-esque, so I don't want to put all that dark around her face, so we're going to keep it warm. The way we're going to be doing it, excuse my drawing because I can't draw hangman, is basically, it's going to be like this. So this is the top of the head, and rather than, we're going to be doing it on a 3-stage pattern. So we've got the top of the head here, and then we've got the middle halo, which is across here, and then we've got the outer halo, which is the very bottom of the hair here. If we were to bring these right up to the top, you end up with a bit of a Geri Halliwell from the Spice Girls stripe, which is lovely back then, but it's not something that we desire at the moment. So we're going to be drawing, well, kind of like a platform across and then bringing it out. So she's got middle parting, and it's going to be going up and across here, and then the halo. So we're going to be bringing it across, so parting either side there, and then it's going to go round up the top here. Okay, so that hair is going to nicely fall over the next colour, which is going to be the dark colour, and then the final colour, which is going to be again the reddish kind of copperish kind of colour there as well. So it's going to fade from the reddy coppery colour into the dark and then back out again. So if Judy flicks her hair, the colour that's predominantly on her face is going to be it's going to be the warmer colour, and then it's going to have the darker colour kind of breaking it up. So it's going to fade from one colour into the next. It's not going to be a dip dye. I've done a lot of dip dyeing recently, but it is kind of fading. Oh, excuse the pun, but it's kind of fading out. So we're going to do it into a tier fashion. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm using Goldwell powder with a watered down 10 volt. I don't want to use 10 volt on its own because I don't want it to be too strong. So we're just lifting her from a 4, hopefully to a high 5 or a 6. And that will be enough. That'll be enough just to give her some warmth, because at the moment she's a 4 and it's just too dark, and she's going to be too dark all over. So this is Julie, and she works for me at the salon, which is Garrii Hairdressing, and that's a little plug there. And this is Mr., which you saw in the last tutorial. So the cut that Julie's got, we don't really need to adapt it because it is cut around her face, and it's soft. But the colour's hard. So we're just going to soften that up, and we're going to warm it all up. I'll talk you through step by step on what I'm doing, but I will be kind of like stopping the video and then going on to the next step and stopping it, because you're a professional that's watching this, and I'm going to bore the pants off you if I go through everything. So we're going to pre-lighten. Then I'm going to show, after it's been rinsed off, I'll then show you the kind of effect. It'll probably make a little bit more sense to you once you see it lightened. Then we're going to use a product called Prepare. Prepare is really important to use, guys, if you have pre-lightened, because the Elumen will not grab properly, or it will and it won't last. So the Prepare makes the hair positive. I think I'm right with this. So the hair is then positively active, and it will grab onto the negative colour. Okay, so it will just grab like this. If the hair is negative and the colour's negative, it will bounce off each other. Okay, it will just do this, so it won't last. Okay, you'll get the desired effect, but then that client will contact you straight away afterwards, and then they'll be all hell to pay. So, you know, you've got to do it so that it kind of grabs, okay? So the Prepare does this. There are other products in the range which I haven't fully used yet, but we've got Goldwell, which are going to be doing training with us very soon, so, and we'll take it from there. So this is going to be stage 1, so I'll see you in a little bit for stage 2. Okay, I'm back again. Right, okay, so we've lifted it up. I followed the pattern that I showed you before. Now, the products we're going to be using next is Prepare. Now, this is what turns it to a positive. So, put it in when it's wet, and for God's sake, try not to comb it through, because you won't get combed through it, I've just lightened. So, you're basically going to spritz it all over. You don't need to go too heavy, don't make it drip everywhere, or spray your dog, which I just did, but I'm sure he's used to it. So, you don't need to put it everywhere. It does kind of like spread out itself, especially when it's wet, okay? So if you were to use this on dry hair, you would literally use so much of it, it's ridiculous. So you don't need to. Right, okay, so we've done that. I'm going to pause it. That was just a quick little thing, but I didn't want you to miss out on it. It's dripping well there. Basically, rough dry it, and the knots will kind of fall out itself, but don't try to comb it through. And yeah, we'll see you in a few minutes for the next stage. Okay. Now, next step. When you're mixing up your colours with Elumen, sometimes the shades on the chart, yeah, they're lovely, but sometimes you need to intermix. Now, this is when you can really start to play with colours, and you can make the colour bespoke to the client. Now, always have a sheet of plain white paper. The colour that you mix up and you put it onto the paper is more or less the colour that is going to come out in the hair. So you make your own shade chart, which is absolutely phenomenal compared to other brands and even Top Chic and Colorants. You can have a play, it's brilliant. So the colour that we've opted for up here, because I cannot believe that this has lightened to this colour using bleach with 10 volt. Like, as a professional watching this, you're going to be shocked as well. She's gone from a 4 to this. It's crazy. Now, this is the shade chart that we've just made. I'm sorry that it's a little bit dark in here. I don't know if I can I lighten it? No? I don't know how to, oh, I've darkened it. How do I make it lighter? Right, okay, that's a bit lighter. Right, okay. So this is how it started off. That's really dark. Everything's flickering. It's like we've got ghosts in here. Okay, so, God, look how dark. Oh, that's better. Look at that. Right, this is the colour that we started off with. This is mixing. It was KB at 7 with KK mix, but then I wanted to deepen it a little bit, so I put BK at 6 in with it. Still not dark enough. It went to this, and it still wasn't vibrant enough. So I thought, right, okay, let's go for a little bit of GK at all with it, just to lighten it. Didn't really do that much. But then I mix a tiny fraction of the dark colour that we're going to be using in Julie's hair, which is NA at 2. And it's gone to this. Now that is the target shade that we're going to be looking for. And I'm quite happy with that. I'm quite happy with the way it's come out. I can't believe it's so dark now. But let me see if I can move this around a little bit. Oh, there we go. Right, so there are your colours. The top one is the target shade. The bottom one on, the lighter one on the bottom, I'm not sure which way this is going to play on YouTube, but it's just too light, it's just not going to touch it, it's going to look more or less what it is at the moment. So they're the colours that we have chosen, and what we're going to do now is we're going to do the lighter part on, oh, that's why, it's because I was standing too close. So around here, this is what we're going to be lightening. We're not lightening, we're going to be putting the copper on top of the top. Then through here we've got the dark area, and that's the area that we're going to be putting the NA at 2, and then we're going to do the bottom again with this. So it's going to fade from one colour into the next, okay? When I've done the colour, I'm so sorry this is dark at the moment, but when we have done the colour, I will bring you out with Julie, into the sun, and I'll show you the actual result. So this is the target shade, so I hope you're happy with this. Just try to make a note of how you've done it. So the way I always do this is I make a little note beside it of what I've actually mixed to make this, because again, as a professional, you go to mix up a little bit more, you're in trouble. So just make a note so you know the quantities of each colour that you've put in, okay? And yeah, so I think the next stage, I won't show you how to apply because you know how to apply colour. The next stage that I'll show you is when we've rinsed it off, we're going to lock it with a product called Lock. Some people don't like the smell of it, I quite like it to be quite honest, but I'm a little bit weird like that. and you leave that on for 5 minutes. That locks the colour in. And always try to get your client to have a treatment. It's always worth having a treatment, even though these are high conditioning colours. And then we're going to dry it. So, and then that's it. And then I've got to make a move because I'm having my Botox done. So anyway, I'll see you in a little bit. Speak to you soon. Right, okay, final piece. We have done the colour. And I don't know if you can see, but I'm going to bring her over to the light anyway so you can see. But condition is absolutely spot on. We've got the dark in the middle. Just to let you know, guys, that the NA at 2 is basically a black. It's really, really dark. So even though it has gone on a base 4, it's dropped it down to a 2. So I'm going to bring Julie over to the window. So Julie, do you want to follow me over? And we're just going to show you in the light what it actually looks like. I don't well dodge. Ta-da! So basically, we've got the coppery colour here, and inside here we've got all the black going through. But it's just given it a level of, it's just deepened it. It's just fading from that colour into another colour, and then underneath you've got all the light again. So when she ties her hair up, you know, and there's a lovely bit of stainage on the neck there, but you will know that Elumen does stain. But yeah, you can, let me just balance that off. Yeah, so it's almost like fire. It's beautiful. I'm so happy with the colour. Just turn around for a sec, Jay. Yeah, so you can see that the dark colour just pokes through. And you can see it there. Just pokes through nicely, and that is the effect that we wanted. We kept all the length, just chopped into it a little bit, just to kind of blend the layers through. But yeah, it's a nice colour. It's like this, when you do things with it and tie it up, you're going to get different tones and everything. But yeah, it works really well. You happy with that, Julie?
Lovely, thank you.
There you go. So yeah, cool. There you go. So guys, any questions or anything? Let's go back to the light. Any questions or anything? Just literally throw them at me. Yeah, Elumen, it's a great colour. I'll do other tutorials. I'm sorry about the long break and stuff, guys, but yeah, if you got any questions about Elumen, or I don't know, anything else you want me to try out, if you've got hair that's blonde and you want to know about a good toner to use with Elumen, just throw them at me and I'll get a model and I'll do a tutorial. So I'll talk you through every step of the way. And now that I know that Goldwell's following me, thank you for following me, and yeah, please share this video, and I hope to see you soon. Take care. This is Garrii Bailey from Garrii Bailey Hairdressing, signing off. Ciao.